ground effect. The tire construction have come so stiff. The sidewalls have to be so stiff to hold the car up when they're developing a couple of thousand pounds of downforce. That looked like smoke coming out the back of Ayrton Senna's car to me.
I thought I saw that a couple of laps ago, but I don't think it's gotten much worse, and obviously that hasn't slowed down the car very much.
But as John says, with a stiff sidewall, a tire can go flat, and if you're still doing 170, 180 mile an hour until you turn a corner, you really have no idea it's gone down on you.
Let's get into some juicy gossip, too, David.
Yeah, there's lots of juicy gossip going on in the paddock this weekend. This man's going to retire, that one's going to retire.
Oh, here comes Prost in for a pit stop. Alain Prost is on pit road. And John Bizignano is right there to call the stop.
McLaren people have been set up for a couple laps, and Alain Prost makes a stop right in his area. The perfect boys of McLaren are doing an excellent job. A little bit of trouble with the right front. The right front was a little bit slow, but it looks like they have it under control, and we have, again, he is spinning the wheels while the jack is still on the stand. It's the left rear. Last week it was the right rear. Alain Prost, a little bit of a lengthy stop, but not as bad as it was in Great Britain.
Ooh, not a very good stop at all. They had trouble with the one tire, and then he was definitely spinning the wheels, but when he put the brakes on, you could hear the engine slow up, so I'm wondering if his clutch was dragging a bit. He had his foot hard on the clutch, but it was still dragging. Go off and do a couple of heart rate tests. Be interesting to see how long Senna stays out. I wonder if he's going to try one of his magical running through the whole race without No.
Here he comes.
We are set.
Ayrton Senna heads toward you, John, for his pit stop.
As the race leader comes in, Ron Dennis is trying to get him to slow. They have actually put water down on the patches underneath the tires, trying to cool them down a little bit, David. That the temperature certainly has effect here today. Very quick stop. There is a problem. Again, it's the right rear. The mechanic has his hand jammed up into the wheel. He has picked up the jack one more time. The car comes off, and they've taken the tire back off. They'd certainly have a problem with either the large one lug nut or the there's going to be some practice at the McLaren garage this weekend.
Well, both of the McLaren cars have trouble during their pit stops. Senna and Prost both in for very long time. Bob Jenkins, David Hobbs, and John Bizignano back at Hockenheimring in West Germany for the German Grand Prix. The McLarens are up front once again, but this time it's Alain Prost who is in the lead, and Ayrton Senna is second. The pit stops, both completed by the McLaren drivers, and both were much longer than they had hoped they would be, and Prost comes out with the lead in third position, and here comes third place. Let's go to John Senna, John Bizignano, and my question is, what about team orders in a situation like this, John?
Well, traditionally, McLaren, of course, out there, that is the dynasty of McLaren. Ron Dennis and the engineers up there on the timing station. We try and corner Crichton Brown. He's the only one who will really talk to us in this situation. But traditionally, the answer has been absolutely no team orders. These two can run nose to tail. They can fight as fairly as possible. And there is no greater competition than amongst teammates. So as far as we know, there are no team orders. It's going to be right down to the flag, right down to the last inch for Team McLaren.
And we will know in less than 3 laps now, as Senna has just turned the fastest lap of the race. So indeed, he is trying to close in and take the lead here.
And let there be no question about team orders at all in this race. If he wants to pass him, he'll pass him whatever they hang out over the pit for, I can tell you that. He's too far behind on points to do otherwise. Prost wins this. Senna coming second, of course. I mean, not all hope is lost by any means. But even so, he's a long way behind Prost, 20 points behind going into this race. Ooh, coming up on a slow car there. That's one of the arrows, one of the US F&G arrows. Seems to be going fairly slowly. Probably Derek Warwick with a puncture.
And indeed, the car is just about stalled on the racetrack. We're not sure whether that's Cheever or Warwick.
Ooh.
And here's Senna making a bid for the lead. Prost, he's got it.
The problem.
Yes. Prost backs out, and Senna passes him easily to take the lead with coming up on 2 laps to go. Wonder what happened to Prost's car. Any ideas?
Well, it seems
Prost, all of a sudden there was nothing there, and Senna darted to the right and got him.
I don't know whether that's some convoluted scoring in his own mind of how this World Championship's got to be won, and he might be better to come second than first, because towards the end of the year when they have to start dropping points, he'd be better to drop 6 than 9. Seems pretty hard to think that would be it. He's obviously got a problem of some sort. Can he hang on to second now?
Definitely
just,
falling back.
1 lap to go, right?
Mansell is in third, and the interval between second and third quite a bit last time around, but Prost is going very slow in that car. Here comes Senna, meanwhile, at full song.
Sounds like gearbox trouble.
Yeah, it could be the transverse gearbox giving him trouble.
Now, of course, he had a bit of luck 2 weeks ago at Silverstone. We found out over the weekend that, in fact, one of the gears in his gearbox had chewed its way almost right through the casing. Another 2 laps at Silverstone, and he'd have been out of the race. So maybe this is a return for that bit of luck he had at Silverstone. Who knows?
So Prost will nurse the McLaren the rest of the distance, as all he can do is watch teammate Senna just continue to pull ahead.
Terribly disappointing, though, for that to happen at that stage in a race, that close to the end, for something to go wrong. Of course, Senna had a similar thing at Montreal with just 5 laps to go. The engine quit. It's somehow so disappointing towards the end, especially when, like Prost, you've led every single lap.
Ayrton moving through the stadium once again will come out onto the main straightaway. And I believe this will be just 1 more lap to go. 1 lap to go. This is the last lap.
Yep.
And you can't even see Prost now, as Senna has...
But he's still going.
Opened up the interval, but yeah, Alain still has the McLaren going.
As we can hear.
Let's go to John for a quick update on this situation.
Well, it's actually a new situation, Bob. It is sprinkling down here in the pits. A little extra drama on the last lap. Back to you.
Well, that's interesting. The weather has been so beautiful here in West Germany since I arrived on Friday morning. Normally, when I've been over here, it's been very cloudy and cool and cloudy and foggy. But this year, some tremendous weather. But now, that 40% chance of rain that the weatherman predicted just before race time is beginning to show itself.
Well, I don't think it's going to affect this guy now. He'll be obviously taking it very, very carefully on this last half a lap as he exit the Ost curve and heads for home, and hopefully for him, the checkered flag. Meanwhile, his teammate, Alain Prost, is struggling to keep that car from being caught up and passed by Nigel Mansell's Ferrari. What a turnout that'll be for Ferrari.
So Ayrton Senna is about to break his streak of 4 non-points paying events as he is on his way to victory in the German Grand Prix. He now enters the stadium for the final time. He's just moments away from the checkered flag and the end of the very quick German Grand Prix, 45 laps at speeds at times in excess of 200 miles an hour go by quickly. And here's Senna coming off the final corner. Now he sees the checkered flag within sight, and here it is. The car doesn't appear to be at full song, but nevertheless, he crosses the stripe and wins the German Grand Prix. Ayrton Senna is the victor.
It could be, of course, that Alain Prost, had a fuel problem. He might have suddenly realized that he was going to run short of fuel.
And here is Prost crossing the line and finishing in second spot. So his car did make it to the end, although we wondered a couple of laps ago. But Prost is second. Mansell